When you see this quote, what is it that you first saw when I put it up there? Well, when I first read this to myself, I initially thought it was degrading, saying a woman without her man is nothing. But if I placed commas in there somewhere, it would either read a woman without her man is nothing, or a woman without her man is nothing. So it's all about how we perceive other people and how we perceive, the opposite sex based on how we feel about them, you know? Sometimes our cultures define who we are, how we're treated in life, and how others view us. Oftentimes we have to fight against these negative thoughts we have about others have about our cultures, and show them how we embrace our traditions and why they're important to us. Most of the time we don't even think about how our traditions or our cultures and how those cultural rules provide us with the right morals to go on through life, and you just go by without thinking about it. In the traditional East Indian culture, some people have stereotyped things like Indian women being married off before they reach the age of 20, or that Indian women who are in arranged marriages are unhappily married to their spouses. Although some aspects of these stereotypes are true, considering that there are practices of arranged marriages, I'm sure that arranged marriages in India, you don't even think to consider about how the woman feels about it. Some women who go through with these arranged marriages believe that it provides their family with continuing the lineage of their culture and their religion, and providing a stronger family with that. And that it enhances the chances to preserve and continue alliances between two families instead of one. So within these traditional Mehndi ceremonies, applying henna to the bride from the forearm to the toes, the woman takes pride knowing that she is providing a stronger foundation for her family and creating a stronger culture appreciation by going through with it. In modern day East Indian weddings, many traditions like applying mehndi to the bride and traditional ceremonial tying of a string or a rope around the bride and groom are applied to modern day Western styles. One traditional and one Western traditional Indian marriage ceremony would be a custom Indian dress for the bride and groom, or a regular white dress and tux for the bride and groom. Marriages in India may revolve around a lot of tradition, and some people see marriage as a defining moment for women. But these women know that there is more to life than being a wife, and that they have the ability to do more. In life, social norms play a big part in how people perceive others and how others perceive other cultures. Sometimes society can place negative roles on women, causing them to have limitations in what they do in their daily lives. A survey in 2008 published by the University of Northern Iowa showed that 10% of American women think that every woman in Indian culture is secluded from others, a statement that was obviously influenced by Indian stereotypes about Indian women. Some stereotypes you may think about them might be along the lines of Indian women being fat, loud, mean, stuck-up, argumentative, needy, or materialistic, but this isn't the case at all. Indian women are more sociable, more independent, and more successful in a business world. As far as relationships, a lot of you may think that Indian women are timid and submissive because they aren't capable or allowed to make their own decisions and have to take orders from their husbands. Although this is true, a lot of the submissiveness isn't. Women in marriages today do have more power over their lives, and but they still make joint decisions with the husband because they respect that the husband is the man of the house, and they give them that right. A lot of you may see an Indian man married to a white woman, or or Indian woman married to a white man. And you may think, well, why not marry someone of the same culture as a lot of people do? Well, I found a blog written by an Indian man replying to a Caucasian woman asking why this was. He replied saying that Indian men were afraid of modern-day Indian women simply because they're afraid that they might be more successful in life than themselves. The statement made me think about these women who probably grew up in strict households with limiting rules regarding social life and maybe other factors, having overcome these limitations and have become successful from it. I mean, if a man is afraid that a seemingly timid or secluded Indian woman is more successful than him, then of course that woman has proved these stereotypes to be about her wrong. In their family lives, Indian women have been seen as the homemakers, weak and fragile women who abide by their husband's rules and wishes daily have been their roles for years, and traditionally that's what they do. But times have changed, and so has the Indian women. In modern day, Indian women share the responsibility of providing for their families, and although they still maintain the same old rules of being the homemaker and making joint decisions with their spouses, it's obvious that they've come a long way from their days as a weak housewife. So society and traditions can have a big impact on the way we're viewed, but it's how we use these limitations as motivations to make us stronger. The biggest thing that others stereotype about each other is the many different ways that we communicate and how different cultures have different rules. A lot of people think that Indian cultures only speak one language. However, although Hindu is the #1 language spoken, there are more than 15 languages and dialects spoken throughout India. Traditionally, communicating verbally in India has many rules, like showing respect to the eldest in the room, or bowing slightly while folding your hands to show respect. Some Indian cultures traditionally do not like to say no to people, non-verbally or verbally. They tend to give affirmative answers, but be deliberately vague about details and reasons why with people. Non-verbally, some Indian cultures greet you by placing both hands together or doing a slight bow. They value personal space, and you never point with a single finger. You usually use the whole hand, thumb, or chin. Communication with women in India culture tends to give more power to men. For example, non-verbally, men shake hands with other men, and women shake hands with the women first. But they seldom shake hands with the opposite sex due to the fact that men were seen as the head of the household, as well as the sole decision maker. Even in the business world, the men in society have dominated communication. However, in today's modern business, Indian women have acquired top positions, but they still have these traditional limitations holding them back. Men in companies aren't used to dealing with women who are with such high authority, but rather shy and self-effacing women, thus making it harder for women to assert themselves as high authority and changing the way men in the workplace communicate with them as their equal. People say that communication is the key to success, but when your gender determines how you're allowed to communicate, does this determine how much success you get? Women in India overall have to deal with this question every day, with the idea that they're the weaker sex, that make the homes and listen to the husbands, giving up their authority in the face of pressures from society and tradition. And it's not just women in Indian culture either. It's women of every culture too. But through all of these standards and cultural rules, women have proven that they have the strength, elegance, power, loving spirit, and nurturing souls and integrity and ability to overcome great obstacles and determination. So no matter how the world may perceive you or what stereotype you're fighting against, you should know that you can do what you want and achieve what you want as long as you have the ability to look past it and say that you're not